Hello students, welcome to lecture 16 of our online chemistry classes. In last class we learned about the various concentration terms, namely mass percent, parts per million, molarity, and the mole fraction. Some of the concentration term depends on temperature, like molarity, where volume is involved, and temperature independent concentration terms are mass percent, mole fraction, and molarity. Question can be asked for 1 mark. Name the concentration term which depends on temperature. Molarity. Name the concentration term which is independent, does not depend on temperature. Molarity, or you can say mole fraction, or you can say mass percent. We have seen their definition, their formula, and their units. Unit of molarity is mole per liter, and unit of molarity is mole per kilogram. And we have solved some questions also. 3 questions I have given you as the homework. So the first question which I have given you as the homework was the molarity of the NaCl solution was 3 molar NaCl solution it was, and they have given that its density is 1.25 gram per milliliter, and what to calculate the molarity. Molar mass of NaCl is 58.5, sodium is 23, chlorine is 35.5, so together they make 58.5 gram per mole. We use this formula, relation between molarity and molarity. Molarity is equal to 1000 into molarity divided by 1000 into density minus molarity into molar mass of the solute. 1000 multiplied by 3 divided by 1000 multiplied by 1.25 density. Molar mass is molarity is 3. Molar mass is 58.5. 1000 multiplied by 3 is 3000. 1000 multiplied by 1.25 is 1250. 3 multiplied by 58.5 is 178.5. I hope you have done these calculations. 3000 divided by 1074.5. That's why molarity is equal to 2.79. This small m we can write, or we can write mole per kilogram. Another question which I have given you as the homework was regarding the sodium hydroxide solution. Calculate number of moles. First we have to calculate number of moles. Molarity they have given 0.1, and volume also they have given 250 cubic centimeter, which is nothing but 250 milliliter. So molarity is nothing but number of moles into 1000 into V. Number of moles is equal to molarity into volume by 1000. So number of moles is equal to 0.025 mole. And once we get number of moles, mass of that solute can be calculated by this simple. We have used this formula many times. So mass is equal to number of moles into molar mass. 0.025 into 40, that comes to be 1 gram. The next one was how much volume of 10 molar HCl should be diluted. So before dilution, molarity is 10 volume. They ask volume. To prepare 2 liter, volume they have given after dilution. And molarity after dilution is 5. So 10 into V1 equals to 5 into 2. 10 into V1 is equal to 5 into 2 is 10. So this 10 can cancel. Here nothing is written, is 1 liter, or 10 divided by 10. 10 divided by this 10 equals to 1 liter. So these were 3 simple questions which I have given you as a homework. I hope that you have written these questions and you got the correct answer. Now regarding the next unit test examination, unit test 2, which is on 30th November, you have 2 topics. In the first unit test, you have only 1 topic, structure of atom, and you have written answers very well. I have corrected papers and you have done very hard work and more marks you have obtained, right? So similar performance you should repeat in unit test 2. It is a bit difficult in unit test 2 because we have 2 topics, but that doesn't matter because when you write NEET examination in 3 hours you have to recall 30 lessons from chemistry, 38 lessons from biology and around 30 lessons from physics. It means around 100 lessons you have to recall in 3 hours. So that much your preparation level should be, and not only recalling, you have to recall correctly, then only you can answer those questions, isn't it? So no doubt these exams they require very high level of efforts. You should come out of your comfort zone. You should not feel that college is not there so we can pass time. Don't do that because time will not come once again. So you know your responsibility. I need not to spend much time on that. But 2 topics are there: classification of element and periodicity properties. I have written it short. And some basic concepts of chemistry, again I have written it short. The classes of classification of elements, there are 10 videos taken by CS sir, and some basic concepts 16 videos I have taken. So you have to go through that. That is first step. In the MCQs examination, where we have 60 questions, 25 questions will be from classification of element. Why it is so? Because weightage is somewhat less for classification of element. It carries only 4 marks in the annual examination, and some basic concept carries 8 marks. But these 4 marks are also important. Don't think that this is 4 marks and this is 8 marks, that is more important and this is less important. This type of strategy will not work out in this type of examination. Only that weightage I have made it proportionately. It doesn't mean that some basic concept is more important than the classification of element. Every topic, every mark, every concept is equally important. So just to have that proportion, we have 25 questions on classification of elements, those MCQs question, 1 question and 1 correct answer. 4 options will be given like that. And some basic concepts, we have 35 questions. 20 questions will be numerical round based. We have solved some around 60 questions. Today also I am going to solve questions only to save time. I have written this initially. So those 60 questions you go through once again. You have that MCQs material also with you. Only thing is that the college material which we have supplied, it was printed 2-3 months back, but according to the new syllabus, some topic is deleted, like laws of chemical combination. So MCQ number, I'll write MCQ numbers. These numbers are talking about that book which you have supplied as college material. 18 to 33, which are based on Dalton's atomic theory and laws of chemical combination. You should not prepare that because that part is already deleted. So apart from that, other questions you have to prepare. I will not give you guarantee that only those questions will come, but questions are more, only numbers will get changed and you are able to solve that. You solve that. If you have difficulty, again and again I am telling that you first call me. You can personally come to college or on phone also. I will solve your doubt. If you have that facility of WhatsApp, you can just take the image, send me that image. I will solve the answer and I will send you back. So don't worry about that. There should not be any communication gap between you and me, because communication is very important in learning process. I hope that you understand the importance of it. And if you have any genuine doubt, then only you have to call. If you are okay with all these things, then don't waste your time. I have more time. I don't have a scarcity of time, but your time is precious. That's why I'm saying that. But if you have doubt, you should communicate right in whatever way. So more numericals are there, but you take practice. Don't expect that in some last examination I got above 50. So this time also above I should get 50. It is not like that. It depends on topic to topic, isn't it? In T20 cricket match, every over we cannot have same number of runs, isn't it? It depends on how the bowler is bowling, what are the conditions like that. So you should have patience. Don't say that in another examination I got 50, in this examination I got 30, so this is difficult, I should leave this topic. Don't come out of this mentality, isn't it? You can leave the question, but when you completely prepare and there is negative marking, then only you have. Otherwise, don't think of that, because that will be very harmful for you. So you try this with some boldness, this 20 numerical questions, 15 theory based. In theory based we have importance of chemistry paragraph, 20 definition list I have made. You prepare that, just 2 pages, not 20 definitions, and your theory marks will be 8 marks will be prepared. And numerical questions are of 24 marks, around 60 questions we have solved. I don't know exactly, I have not numbered it. You numbered it. It is better because the questions are for you, not for me. So you solve them once again and you get this 24 numerical problem based question. The types are 10 types of questions are there. Every type of question 2 marks. Only one question, empirical formula, molecular formula, we can have question of 4 marks on it, because lengthy numerical. And stoichiometric calculation, instead of one question of 2 marks, I will give 2 questions, because one part is limiting reagent and another is without limiting reagent. So if you add all these things, starting with the scientific notation, then significant figures, then rounding off, gram atoms and gram molecules, then mole concept, percentage composition, then empirical formula, molecular formula, concentration methods, stoichiometric calculations. These are the list of, maybe I have not required 1, 2, but it is with you also. These are all 10 types. We have one question of 2 marks. And this empirical formula and molecular formula carries 4 marks, and stoichiometric calculation 2 questions of 4 marks. In that way, it carries 32 marks in theory examination. And this classification of elements carries 18 marks. Periodic trends, left to right, top to bottom, increases, decreases, why it is so, what are the factors on it depends. You have syllabus, you have notes, classes are already taken, so it is up to you now how to use it maximum. We have 3 parts, part A, part B, part C. Part A, 1 mark 10 questions, all compulsory. 3 will be from classification of element, 7 will be from some basic concepts. Part B, we have 5 questions, 2 marks, 5 questions, all are compulsory. And all these 10 marks will be from some basic concepts. And part C, 5 marks, 6 questions, 3 questions from classification of element, and 3 questions from some basic concepts. So this is blueprint. This is the number of marks, theory wise and MCQ wise. Prepare it well, because that is the only way to get the marks. Once you get good marks, your confidence level will increase, and once your confidence level will increase, it is beneficial, because in 2 years you have to keep it up, right? So I hope that you have some clarity regarding this examinations. So I have made it clear as far as possible, and if you have any doubt, of course you are always welcome to clarify your doubts. Right, so we'll go ahead and we'll see how many questions, numerical questions we can add till now we have solved 7 questions. Now we'll go ahead and we'll see the next question, question number 8 now, isn't it? Question number 8. No, 3, 4 we have solved. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 we have solved, right? So question number 7 now. Calculate the mass of sodium acetate. Calculate the mass of sodium acetate. CH3 COONA, sodium acetate, required to make 50 milliliter of 0.375 molar aqueous solution. Molar mass of sodium acetate. In theory examination they give. In MCQs also they give, but some atomic masses you should know: carbon, hydrogen, sodium. Those which are frequently used, you should know. They have given this mass as 82.0245 gram per mole. How they obtain it? Just adding all atomic masses. Now calculate the mass of sodium acetate, they ask. So you can easily go for this formula. Molarity is equal to mass by molar mass in 1000 divided by volume in milliliter. This mass we have to calculate. So we can just rearrange this, and that is equal to molarity into molar mass volume in milliliter divided by 1000. Molarity is given 0.375, and then molar mass they have given it as 82.045. Volume was 500 milliliter, and this is divided by 1000. If we simplify this, we'll get our answer, and that answer is, I will write directly instead of doing this calculation once again before you. 15.380 gram. This is the answer for this particular question, right? So this is one question. Question number 8 will be: calculate the concentration of nitric acid. Calculate the concentration of nitric acid in moles per liter. Moles per liter is nothing but molarity. Moles per liter in a sample. In a sample which has density, which has density 1.41 gram per milliliter, and mass percent of nitric acid is 69%. This is the question before us. Relation between molarity and mass percent we can use here. So we can write molarity equals to mass percent into density multiplied by 10 divided by molar mass of the solution. Mass percent is 69. Density is 1.41. This 10 is the part of formula. And what is the molar mass of nitric acid? Hydrogen 1, nitrogen 14, oxygen is 16. 1 plus 14, 48, 3, 6 gram per mole. So you can write here as 63. And what answer we have? We have here answer as 15.44 capital mole per liter. You can write for this capital M. So this is 63, I think already we have written. Just I added this hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, molar mass of HNO3, 1 plus 14 nitrogen. In that way I have done this. So you write that first. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 9. That will be calculate molarity of solution. Calculate molarity of solution of ethanol in water. In which mole fraction of ethanol is 0.040. So they are given the mole fraction and they ask molarity. We have one formula which relates this molarity and mole fraction. 1000 into x2, x1 and m1 is that formula. x2 is mole fraction of solute in this case, which is ethanol, 0.040. x1 is mole fraction of solvent, which is nothing but 1 minus 0.040, which is 0.96. And then M1, remember, molar mass of solvent, which is water in this case, which is 18 gram per mole. So in this way we can calculate this. It is M equals to 1000, 0.040, 0.96 into 18, and that comes to be 2.P1 small m, or 2.P1 mole per kilogram. Let's complete this question. Calculations are not at all difficult. Calculations are relatively easier. Only formula, correct formula and substitution is required for this type of question. Right, so we'll go ahead and we'll go for now question number 10. They have given one reaction here. Calcium carbonate in solid state plus 2HCl in aqueous state. It gives CaCl2 in aqueous state. AQ means aqueous, dissolved in water, aqueous state, and CO2 in gaseous state plus H2O in liquid state. What mass of CaCO3 is required to react completely with 25 milliliter of 0.75 molar HCl. So how much mass of calcium carbonate required to react with 25 milliliter of 0.75 molar of HCl? We'll start with this. Molarity is equal to number of moles of HCl into 1000 by volume in milliliter. First we calculate number of moles of HCl, because number of moles of calcium carbonate is half number of moles of HCl, because here 2 is written and here is 1 is written. Once we get moles of calcium carbonate, we can get the mass of calcium carbonate, because number of moles is equal to mass by molar mass. So number of moles we have to calculate. Molarity into B milliliter into 1000. 0.75 milliliter is 25 divided by 1000. So that happens to be 0.01875 mole. This is the number of moles of HCl we have obtained. Now we can write according to this balanced chemical equation. They have only given balanced form and we just confirm it. It is in balanced form only. So we can say here that number of moles of calcium carbonate is equal to half into number of moles of HCl. Why we say so? Because 2 moles of HCl, 1 mole of CaCO3. 1 mole of HCl, half moles of CaCO3, isn't it? So it is half of 0.01875 mole. So number of moles we have obtained. N equals to, we can say, mass by molar mass. So we can say mass of CaCO3, that only they have asked. Number of moles into molar mass. Number of moles is half 0.01875 and molar mass of calcium carbonate is 100, because calcium is 40, carbon is 12, and there are 3 oxygens, 16, 16, 16. Yes, it is 100, and that happens to be 0.93 0.75 gram is the answer for this. So reaction was given and we have calculated the mass of that calcium carbonate. Right, so this question number 10. Question number 11. These are all textbook question only. So when you look into textbook, some in-text question, an exercise question, you will find that 80% question were also in the class. That's why we have taken more number of questions, and you also have the more number of questions, right? A sample of drinking water. A sample of drinking water was found to be severely contaminated with chloroform, supposed to be carcinogenic, means which causes cancer in nature, carcinogenic in nature. The level of contamination, level of contamination of was 15 ppm parts per million. Express this in percent by mass. Express this in percent by mass. And B, calculate molarity of chloroform in water sample. So we go for first part A of the question. Mass percent is equal to mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. Mass of solute, we can say it as they are given 15 gram. Solution is 10⁶, because that's what we mean by parts per million into 100. So this happens to be 15 into 10⁻⁴. So we can say 1.5 into 10⁻�3. In this way we can calculate the mass percent. 15 ppm is 15 gram in 10⁶ gram, million gram of the solution. Now they ask molarity also. Molarity of the solution also they are asked. So B part equals to M equals to W2 by M2 into 1000 by mass of solvent in gram. This is 15. You can say molar mass of chloroform, carbon hydrogen 3 chlorine 12 1 35.5, and that happens to be 119.5 gram per mole. Now W1, which is mass of solvent, is equal to mass of solution minus mass of solute. Solution mass is 10 raised to 6 gram. Solute mass is 15. So 15 is very less compared to 10 raised to 6. That's why you can take it as 10 raised to 6 only. Isn't it? Because 10 raised to 6 is 1 million. From that 15 subtracted is very less number. Now you can substitute here 15, 119.5, 1000, and this is 10 raised to 6. If we do that, 1.255 into 10 raised to minus 4 molar is our answer. Right, so this is question number 11. Right, we have covered all questions except the mole fraction. That also will do. So this part will be 100% complete. Just see how we have calculated. There is nothing difficult into it. Right, so last question, the concentration of the solution. Question number 12 now. 12. It is calculate mole fraction of benzene. Calculate mole fraction of benzene in a solution. Which is 30% biomass in carbon tetrachloride. So they asked us to calculate mole fraction. So we can say mole fraction of benzene is nothing but mole fraction of benzene is nothing but solute. They asked, and what they are given? Mass of benzene 30 gram, which is mass of benzene which is solute. So what will be W1? Remaining out of 130 gram, this one 70 gram is mass of carbon tetrachloride which is solvent. So X2 is equal to number of moles of solute, benzene in this case, divided by total number of moles of solvent plus solute. So this N2 equals to W2 by M2. Mass of benzene is 30 gram. And what is the molar mass of benzene? We call it as M2. Molar mass of benzene equals to 78 gram. And number of moles of carbon tetrachloride. Mass of carbon tetrachloride is 70. molar mass of carbon tetrachloride. Molar mass of carbon tetrachloride is 154 gram per mole. 154. So this is mole we have calculated. Now we can calculate easily mole fraction because all numbers we have. So we can just substitute this x2 equals to x2 is nothing but 30 by 78 divided by 70 by 154. 30 by 70. 30 by 78 is 0.38. 70 by 154 is 0.45 and 0.38. 0.38 divided by 0.83. X2 is mole fraction of benzene equals to this equals to 0.83 by 0.38 by 0.83 is 0.46. If they ask, this is our answer. But if they ask mole fraction of carbon tetrachloride, we should say 1 minus 0.46. Which is I think 0.54. No unit for mole fraction because it is the ratio of number of moles. So this is the one last question on the mole fraction. So this completes our some basic concepts of chemistry. I hope that you will do hard work by understanding all these concepts, solving questions again and again, and definitely you will get good marks in unit test 2 examination. Have patience, do hard work, and you will get. Regarding MCQs also, you have to practice it well, because once you have that habit of solving MCQs, it will be very helpful in long run. So thank you for watching these videos very patiently and listening carefully. So best of luck for your unit test 2 examination, and any doubt, contact. Thank you.